One of our trainers is locked in and ready to go. The other one taking just a few more moments.
While we're taking those moments, really take it in how many accolades are behind these trainers' names. We talked about the EUIC champion, we talked about NAIC top 4, but Pato-Man was also the regional champion in Gdansk, as well as a special finalist in Sevilla earlier this season.
Exactly right. A lot of gold medals in the trophy cabinet, looking to add the biggest prize of them all. I'm sure he's got a spot right on the top shelf reserved for, but Beelzeboy also very impressive last year, and he's right back in a similar position this year. Let's see, because we are down to our top 3, our final 3 trainers in Anaheim.
We're going to see who will be making it on to Championship Sunday, who will be the one who's taking home the glory. This is one of the very pivotal moments here, and it looks like these trainers are both locked in. They're both ready to go. Winners finals, here we go.
Ghost types take the field. We've got Galarian Corsola taking on that Shadow Annihilate. This is going to be a positive matchup for that Galarian Corsola, so we do see they pivot into that Shadow Steelix.
Steelix as the safe swap here for Beelzeboy is a very risky play, because if there was that Shadow Kanto Marowak, there might not be as much play for it there. Going for the crunch, the heavier hitting one, as you can see, super effective damage onto the Corsola, but Pato-Man doesn't use the shield and just continues to bank up a ton of energy.
Incredible point. I mean, the Shadow Kanto Marowak would have been devastating, but if we don't see a switch, that means your opponent has something else in the back. So Beelzeboy can effectively cross that Pokemon off his list and start to narrow down what Pato-Man's back line consists of.
Speaking of crossing Pokemon off the list, I think Steelix might go back into his ball as the second Nightshade connects, and now Beelzeboy has a good potential that he could farm down with this Galarian Moltres, because the Corsola is quite low.
Yeah.
Or we could end up seeing what that third Pokemon is. Looks like he was waiting out the timer. He is coming in with the Moltres, and Moltres is actually perfectly fine with this scenario, because as you see, those side waves basically do very, very little damage.
Yeah, this is the Ice Beam games, as I like to call them. Flies when they come through here, and we do see a final second shield by Pato-Man to protect his Lapras. Do we get the Sparkling Aria? Do we get the Ice Beam? Gonna go for the Sparkling Aria here. Does Beelzeboy call it?
This is a bait, and if Beelzeboy calls it, it'll put him in a great position, and that's exactly what he does. He now will be able to get to another attack, but Lapras going first, going for another Sparkling Aria.
Yeah.
This will be enough to knock the Moltres very, very low. Beelzeboy doesn't want that, because you see he's already at a charge attack of his own, and now he gets to farm up a ton of energy, because it will take a while for that Lapras to get to the next.
Yeah, calculated risk there by Beelzeboy. He knew that 2 charge attacks were needed to pick up the knockout there, because those side waves are double resisted. So I really like the play, and I like this shield as well. Pato-Man protecting against the Brave Bird. In comes the Shadow Annihilate. But I'll tell you what, Amanda, the artistry on display here is that Beelzeboy has basically neutralized his Shadow Annihilate's hardest counter. That Galarian Corsola is so low.
Galarian Corsola is coming back in. These counters aren't very effective. Meanwhile, Suns are doing a lot, but there is no Protect Shields remaining on Pato-Man's side, and this Annihilate is about to ramp up as Rage Fist connects, knocks it out, and the 2 Pokemon in the back do not want to take these counters.
Cradily is running acid here for Pato-Man, so those fast attacks will be resisted. It's a question of pacing. Will the Ice Punch arrive first, or will the Cradily get to the grass knot? We're going to find out here. Annihilate, Cradily are racing, and they're going to get there at the same time.
Going for the Ice Punch. It connects. No chance for the Cradily, as this is about to knock it out.
Absolutely. Super effective damage connecting. Cradily wilts under the pressure. In comes the Lapras, and it will fall as well. Beelzeboy sweeping the back line.
Beelzeboy taking game number 1 quite solidly. Pato-Man taking some notes, wondering what could I be doing a little bit differently for game number 2. It looks like Beelzeboy really read him quite well, and that had some masterful switches in the meantime. Even though he had a very negative lead with that Shadow Annihilate against the Corsola, being able to pivot with that risky Shadow Steelix safe swap,
yeah,
put him in a good position.
Super risky, but sometimes those risks can pay off massively. And as we take a closer look at the team here for Pato-Man, I would argue that he didn't deploy enough resources to stop the Shadow Annihilate. Yes, he had the Galarian Corsola. Yes, he had some neutral play there with the other Pokemon. But the key here, I think, might be doubling up. Maybe combining the Galarian Corsola with the Shadow Claw Golisopod. That might be key for him going to this next battle. And again, this is where the mind games just resurface over and over again. Is Beelzeboy going to see that strategy coming?
I think that is a really good point, because we have to remember, since this is a best of 5, These trainers can take a couple different risks while they're playing. Beelzeboy felt comfortable using that Steelix as a safe swap because he said, okay, even if I lose game number 1, I still have a couple more to maneuver around. The fact that there was no Shadow Kanto Marowak in game 1 and Steelix proved quite pivotal, it might be playing into the mind game of Patoman being like, should I bring it game number 2? And is that playing right into Beelzeboy's, new plan, new way of thinking?
It's just a question of should I stay or should I go, right? One of our trainers is locked in. On the left side, Patoman has already made his decision, but Beelzeboy is taking a few more moments to ponder it. And I appreciate you for pointing out again that this is a best of 5. Normally, Beelzeboy would be able to technically win this next battle and then claim the series, but he's got to beat Patoman 2 more times to punch his ticket to the grand finals, and it is not going to be easy.
Both of these trainers coming from that winner's side of the bracket haven't lost the battles yet, and that means in a double elimination tournament, one of them will still remain to be able to fight in the losers finals, another best of 5 against Hardjeff, who we just saw play. Looks like we just got the thumbs up there from Beelzeboy, so we'll wonder if we're gonna get locked up pretty soon into the battle.
Beelzeboy putting the phone down for just a moment here as he gets locked in, gets centered, and ready to go. Again, Patoman, head down, ready to work, ready to put in the hustle and the grind here against his opponent. He needs to storm back in this series and try to secure that grand finals position, but it all starts with the leads.
Patoman has been in many top finals for these best of 5 matches quite a few times through the international championships that he's been in, but this is a big one. This is the one that he's been training for all season long, and a Rage Fist already going through. Lapras is being able to chunk with those sideways, but it doesn't want to take this damage.
Very close matchup between these two Pokemon. No Protect Shield used on the Lapras there, already securing the Sparkling Aria. Patoman recognizes the Shadow Annihilate was the key for Beelzeboy in game number 1. He's trying to neutralize it early in this game number 2.
Going ahead and using a shield on Beelzeboy's side, and we're going to see a whole counter down, getting a little bit more energy. And this probably plays into Patoman's hands. We see that Galarian Corsola come in, and we see an immediate pivot out into that Galarian Moltres, now met by the Fortress in the back.
I really appreciate the domino effect that Beelzeboy has triggered here, winning the lead and then forcing his opponent to swap out, because that Galarian Corsola versus the Galarian Moltres matchup is just so abysmal for the Ghost type. So it pulls that Fortress out of the back, and now Beelzeboy can make a perfect, complete plan about what he wants to do next.
Great timing throwing now this Rock Tomb. This is going to lower the attack of the Galarian Moltres, and you know what, actually it's just going to lower it right out of the sky because no Protect Shield used on the Pokemon. Beelzeboy now wondering which Pokemon do I want to bring in. He knows the whole lineup. He knows that it's that Corsola in the back, so he's going to get his maximum amount out that he can out of this Annihilate.
Absolutely. Fortress going to throw a Sand Tomb here for Patoman. I don't think this is quite enough because it's a very underwhelming charge attack, and it is not. Simultaneous swap, though. We see the Galarian Corsola come back to the field, and Shadow Steelix roars out to meet it.
Now we see that there is going to be a little bit of an energy advantage on that Corsola side because it did come in first. It's going to be able to throw this Nightshade. Last time Patoman took the crunch from the Steelix, which could also have potential to debuff this Pokemon. Patoman has to make a decision. Do I want to shield up a Crunch or do I want to shield up a Rage Fist because I only have 1 shield remaining?
And it's, oh, no defense drop trigger. That's actually huge in this matchup because the Steelix is looking for that Thunder Fang damage to chip down the Ghost type. And to your point, Amanda, yeah, shielding the first Crunch could prove disastrous because then it allows your opponent to close the gap with the following charge attack.
Going ahead, and he's at another attack here. This is just the Psychic thing, but it does pull that shield because it could have been the Crunch, and Patoman recognizes his switch timer is up, an immediate now pivot into the Fortress, trying to get as much damage off as possible, but oh my goodness, already at a Rage Fist, and you see Beelzeboy with his head in his hand saying, wait, should I have thrown that right away?
Yeah, just trying to juggle the energy here at the end. Wants the KO, doesn't want to get hit with another Sand Tomb, but in comes the Corsola. 1 astonished, 2 astonished. Galarian Corsola might be working some magic here. Here it comes, and it does get the KO.
Look how close that battle was. Patoman was cool as a cucumber there, recognizing, okay, the fact that he threw right away was actually to my advantage. I need to just completely astonish down this Annihilate, and I'm going to take out that Steelix in the back.
Man, so many different win conditions could have unfolded there. So many different roads to take, and Beelzeboy unfortunately was unable to close out that game number 2, but Fortunately for Pokémon on the other side, he's right back in this.
I think Beelzeboy, the minute that he threw the attack, you kind of saw it on his face that he recognized that's not what he actually wanted to do. Because the bug bite, it was not going to be doing too much damage. He could have got a little bit more energy and perhaps thrown 2 Rage Fits, the first one for the Fortress and the second one to be able to take out the Galarian Corsola.
I mean, that would have been pretty stellar if he was able to do that. The margins are so slim. The Sand Tomb would have been ready in just a couple more seconds. So under all that pressure with all those variables, I think the equation just came crashing down there for Beelzeboy in the final moments. But I want to talk briefly about the team composition. We did see both the Shadow Steelix and the Galarian Moltres, and I got to tell you, Amanda, I think he would have been ready for that Gliscopod if Pokémon would have brought out the obvious pick.
I think that both of these trainers, they have a lot on the line at this moment, and they haven't had the opportunity recently to see the other one play, because since these people are on the winner's side of the bracket, that means that they have not had as many games. They haven't had to go through a loser's bracket run. They're quite comfortable sitting here, but one of them will be experiencing that loser's bracket as soon as this best of 5 matchup is over.
Both trainers 2 wins away from Championship Sunday, the first in the arena next door. The crowd roaring, everyone watching you, all eyes on these trainers right now, but they need to stay present, need to stay in the moment. You can't think about anything else. And Beelzeboy taking just a few more moments to ponder, and I understand. Take every second you need.
I mean, you got to take it, even though everyone wants to be the champion, even though that is the end goal, you got to take it game by game. You just have to take it step by step. This is a tied series of this best of 5. Whoever wins this is in the guaranteed spot of Championship Sunday. So these trainers definitely need to have some strategy, they need to have some willpower, they need to have some strength, and we need to hop right into the battles.
Oh, the Ghost types are back on the field, just like battle number 1. Galarian Corsola squared up against the Shadow Annihilate. Pivot now into the Galarian Moltres, met by the Lapras. This is not a clean matchup for either one of these Pokemon. It's going to be very close.
It looks like going ahead and just getting up a ton of energy. Beelzeboy is going to throw first, but there's 2 shields to comfortably hide behind. And I don't know, if I'm Beelzeboy, I might be like, I want to take this matchup for sure, because I want to make sure that that Corsola goes nowhere near my Annihilate.
Exactly, and it comes down to how many resources you want to sink into that effort. Shielding up the Ice Beam is a great step forward. Sucker Punches are adding up. Lapras might be able to get to another back-to-back Ice Beams, trying to freeze out this Galarian Moltres.
See, Beelzeboy, look up. Will this be enough to knock me out if I don't use a shield? You're about to find out, because it hangs on by a thread and he throws the fly. But this can change the scenario, because if Pokémon shields, which he does, will he be able to Sidewave down, or will the Sucker Punches be too much?
Pins and needles. Oh my goodness, Lapras able to get the Sidewave down in spite of that Sucker Punch coming through. Shadow Annihilate comes out, but to your point, Amanda, maintaining switch advantage was so key. Shadow Steelix comes out here for Beelzeboy.
And now I think it's going ahead, banking some energy there before coming in with the Credilli. Credilli doesn't have the best matchup against the Steelix, and it's going to have a little bit worse of one now that the Psychic Fang is lowering its defenses, but it will be able to throw a Grass Knot, which can start to chunk away and hurt, and Beelzeboy is reaching up for that crunch before he decides what he wants to actually throw at the Credilli.
I mean, don't forget, the Steelix is still a ground type as well, right? So the Grass Knot is going to thump down its HP rather quickly. Shadow Steelix, decision to make. Beelzeboy calls the Grass Knot.
Going ahead, shielding that up at almost 100 energy, not quite, throwing the crunch. This is the heavy hitting one. The defense is already dropped. No Protect Shield used on the Credilli, but not quite enough to knock it out, and still just getting a little bit more energy, going for another Grass Knot here.
Yeah, I think he wants to make this matchup manageable for that Shadow Annihilate in the back. This is a game of leverage and energy management. In comes the Galarian Corsola. I don't know. I think Pokémon's got a distinct advantage here.
Going for that crunch. There is a shield left in play, so this is a big moment. We saw him not shield it last time in case he got that debuff, and it looks like this is the same safe play that he's going for. Forced to throw a Nightshade at this because he just wants that Steelix out of there.
Yeah, got to get it off the field here and start to knock down these pins. We're going to see the final Pokemon come out for Beelzeboy. It's that Shadow Annihilate yet again. Just like we started this battle, we are back to square one, but this time, Galarian Corsola has so much energy.
It's getting spooky in here for this round for Beelzeboy. As the Annihilate goes down, Pokémon takes game number 2.
Exactly right. Hard fought, Great lead call there by P4T0M4N. Great pivot as well. Switching, controlling the pace of the matchup. And in spite of Beelzeboy's heroics with his Galarian Moltres hanging out through the Ice Beam, just wasn't enough to win him that game number 3.
Yeah, we see you, crowd. We see you guys wave, and we see you cheering for these two people going on. I know that a lot of people are wondering who is going to make it to Championship Sunday.
Yeah.
We're just a few games away.
Just a few games away. Final reminder, everybody. I know we've said it a couple of times, but it is a bit jarring when we've seen best of 3s for basically 2 days straight. This is a best of 5 situation. So P4T0M4N is still 1 game away from securing it. Beelzeboy needs to reverse sweep.
And needs to be able to take 2 games. And again, that's not impossible. Beelzeboy is an incredible player. P4T0M4N has been in this position quite a few times this year. Again, as a reminder, he was our European International Champion. He was in the top placements at the North American International Championships. And now on the big stage, also in a very similar position. He's ready. He's done these best of 5s. It's almost repetition for him at this point.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if he's nervous, I can't see it. He looks like he is in the zone. He belongs up on this stage, and he is showing us exactly why. Meanwhile, Beelzeboy does not want to fall into that loser side bracket. Yes, he still has a chance on Championship Sunday if he can get through Hard Jeff, but it's just such a tough road ahead. Resetting the bracket, winning a grand finals, it's so difficult. And I think that he wants to win this series right here and put himself in the optimal place to claim the trophy tomorrow.
We do see that this match is under review. That last one that went to P4T0M4N, it looks like Beelzeboy believes that he lost some Sucker Punch damage with the Moltres onto the Lapras, and so bringing up the charge attack priority, which would really be against the Steelix and the Credility.
Yeah, exactly. I believe the word chaining is something that I like to say. It's when you get those back-to-back charge attacks coming off really rapidly. Then you have to look closely at whether or not those fast attacks did come through. So our judging staff is taking a look at a couple of things from that previous matchup. And again, I mean, this is late in the day. It's Saturday night. Everyone's tired from battling all day, but you have to push through. Got to dig deep, find those reserves, and try to get the best possible outcome for yourself as a trainer, because you've come this far. You're literally not going to make any exceptions. You have to persevere here.
Absolutely. And if you guys need to remember, the Galarian Moltres was swapped in because the Annihilate met with the Corsola in the lead. The Lapras was swapped in. Psywave damage does not do too much to the Galarian Moltres. So if Beelzeboy believes he did lose a Sucker Punch, he might have actually been able to, you know, take out that Lapras beforehand.
Yeah, exactly right. So a lot of variables here as our judges take a closer look at this battle on hand. We're going to get a little replay action going as well. This, I believe, is the latter part of the review. This is the crunch coming through. Then we're going to see the Cradillia, I believe, fire. Oh, this was a charge attack priority.
This was the chaining, as you were calling it.
Yeah, absolutely. A term I definitely invented in that I didn't hear anywhere else.
No, yeah, I didn't read it.
Grass Knot does get fired off there. And yeah, Beelzeboy, you know, these trainers have very solid knowledge of the Pokemon species they use, the relative attack that they carry. And I think that this Steelix is not going to win charge attack priority over many things in the meta.
Very, very true. But again, like you brought up before, when they're reviewing things, they also have to realize, will it make a difference? Will this actually make an impact? And if it does, then the rematch could be granted. But again, this is what we have these wonderful judges and staff members here for, being able to review the footage, and we highly encourage trainers who think that they have lost a turn, or if they think that maybe there's something that didn't go quite right in their battles, to raise it up, because this is the best chance that you're going to have to be able to do so.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about the mechanics of the battle, it does take a turn to fire a charge attack, and if that Cradillia was firing off the Grass Knot, we would have seen a Thunder Fang come through, right? Because initiating the charge attack takes a turn, starting the Thunder Fang takes a turn as well. So I do think that Beelzeboy personally believed that that was important when it came to defining his win condition. That's what the judges are reviewing closely for us here. So yeah, it's been a long day, a lot of battles, but we are here in the winners finals, and the stakes could not be higher.
These are the people who we know one of them for sure is going to be on Championship Sunday. And that is on the main channel, just as a healthy reminder for those of you who are watching this on Pokemon GO.
That is good to know.
That is good to know.
You know what I also heard?
Tell me.
I also heard that after our winners and losers finals, we have a special segment where our friend and co-caster Caleb will be dropping some news for us all. So.
I think we kind of alluded to it day one. Pokemon Go is there's different seasons that go on, and as this season may be coming to an end very soon, a new season will arise, and perhaps there might be some changes in some move sets.
What?
Perhaps there'll be some changes in some Pokemon. We'll just have to see what's in store. I wonder if we'll get any news.
I wonder. I mean, I remember a very fun stream in Yokohama. I remember crowd shots, everyone cheering, getting hyped. I mean, some would say one of the peak moments of the entire weekend. So hopefully we get something like that coming up pretty soon.
As a reminder, one of the most impactful things that happened that was announced at that was the timer in Pokemon Go when you swap out your Pokemon used to be 60 seconds. Now it is 50 seconds, and it made the game much more dynamic in play. You see how quickly Pokemon players, maybe they'll use a charge attack to just dwindle down the clock about 10 seconds. They'll be able to swap out. Again, with the hard jump against Courlash, we saw 3 catches in a row between those trainers.
And to your point, I don't feel like that would have been possible without the 50-second switch timer. So not only moveset updates, but you never know if there are some structural changes. And I'm not trying to hint at anything. Don't quote me, chat. All right.
Quote him, I guess.
You brought it up.
I was bringing up old changes.
Okay. Well, we'll see what does happen and what our friends on the development team have in store. But judges are taking definitely a close look at this. Again, there are kind of 2 different points. What we saw on the replay was the question regarding Cordeli and Steelix, but there's another facet, and that was the Galarian Moltres versus the Lapras matchup. If you remember, about the mid-game, about halfway through, that was really, really close. The Galarian Moltres absorbed that Ice Beam, kept on Sucker Punching, and did win Switch Advantage, but it's kind of curious, you know, a Sucker Punch here, a Thunder Fang there, could have made a big difference
here,
for
there,
Beelzeboy.
anywhere. Yeah, no. Well, I actually believe that the Lapras ended up taking down the Galarian Moltres.
Oh, well, you're exactly right. I'm sorry. There was the shield and the side waves kicked in. You're exactly right. So, yeah, if Beelzeboy is able to flip switch in the mid game and avoid that Galarian Corsola versus the Shadow Annihilate, who knows what could have happened.
And I think that a lot of times when trainers, this is what we are talking about here. So when we see, look how just a sliver of health on that Galarian Moltres, and you see Patoman pumping his fist. Beelzeboy just wants to make sure that he got that Sucker Punch damage because it did end up changing things later on if he did not.
Exactly right. I really, really am happy with this slow-mo replay. We need it because my eyes are not getting any younger.
I know, that's why we got these glasses on so we can see better.
I know, right? Annihilate does get the counter down there, but I would absolutely love to see that one more time if we could. Such a crucial moment in this matchup. And flipping switch, I mean, everyone's familiar with this. Amanda, watching you battle a little bit backstage, maybe you play a few Pokemon in Go Battle League that are a little bit alignment dependent. I mean, you know, things like Brassiodon.
Listen, I don't need to be giving away my heavy strategies of the Go Battle League right now on stream. How dare you?
I'm saying.
Listen, I'm just, if you do cue into me, just know that I've been inspired by this Shadow Kanto Marowak play, and I maybe have paired it with another Pokemon that doesn't like to see the Marowak very much at all.
Wait, hold on. So you already leaked 2 parts of the team. Just leak the full trio in case folks want to try it.
Oh, look, we're taking it back to the stage.
No, we're not. We're not ready for battles quite yet. Well, maybe we'll get it out of Amanda eventually.
It's Fortress.
Okay. Well, now we know. I assume Fortress is the safe spot, but I do not even want to postulate because I don't know how your mind works.
Yeah, that much is clear by now, Will.
Winners finals. It looks like we might have a decision coming through. It does appear that Patoman will maintain his 2-1 advantage in the series.
So this means that Patoman just needs one more battle to be able to take it all the way to the grand finals on Championship Sunday. Beelzeboy winning that first game puts a lot of momentum behind you, and at this point, even though it came down to the wire, still so close, means there's still so many opportunities for him, still so many chances that he will be able to still take this in what we call a reverse sweep. So he maybe can win 2 more in a row. It's not a full reverse sweep, I guess. It would start if he was at 0.
Well, the question on my mind is where is the Galarian Corsola going to be? Because it's been in the lead over and over again. And if Beelzeboy chooses to lead that Shadow Annihilate, he's probably going to find himself in a similar position yet again. So in terms of adjustments, it's anyone's guess.
And at this point, it's not just a guessing game. It's really a moment of resilience. You have to guess and suspect what your opponent is going to bring, but in the same breath, you have to realize what is the play that's going to work best for me, my play style, and how I think I can win these matchups.
Exactly. P4T0M already locked in, ready to go. Engine revving there on the main stage. Beelzeboy taking just a few more moments to think things over, because this is a very important matchup. Losing this next battle sends him down to face the Titan that is LNDS Harjefe. So he needs to get this right.
All of these trainers have been in the top parts of these heavy international championships or worlds. So all of these trainers know how much it takes and how much they want to win, how much they want to be on that stage on Sunday. We have a lock in here. We're jumping into game number 4.
Let's go, everybody. We're going to see that Shadow Annihilate. The commitment pays off. Beelzeboy gets a favorable lead into the fortress.
You see him already give a little fist pump saying, yes, okay, it wasn't the Corso lead. Now swapping into the Steelix, and this is what I'm talking about. Even though the Aqua Jets are going to be hitting the Steelix relatively hard, just those Thunder Fangs going through, it hurts that Gliscopod already brought it down to the yellow without even throwing a charge attack.
Exactly. Electric type offensive output is not common in the meta, but when it hits hard. Psychic Fangs coming through here. Will P4T0M decide to use a Protect Shield?
About to hit even harder because this Psychic Fang is going to lower the defenses. He will be able to get to another attack, but it's up to Beelzeboy at this point. If he shields this up, he should be able to win that switch. Does he want it or does he want the shield? He wants the switch. The Gliscopod goes down. In comes that Fortress.
This is about budgeting HP. Can he get to the crunch? He's going for it. No! Overshoots and misses the charge attack there. Coming out with the Annihilate. Counters are adding up. Swap now into the Galarian Corsa. Here comes Galarian Moltres.
Galarian Moltres is just a couple behind, but this is enough that the Corsola can get to a Power Gem, and that's exactly what P4T0M is going to throw. One shield remaining on Beelzeboy's side. This is going to be a heavy hitting attack, and it does get that shield because Beelzeboy wants to keep that Moltres nice and healthy and just continue to get a ton of energy. I think he's going to throw the fly right before another attack is loaded.
And P4T0M wants to keep the pressure on. That's why he's throwing these hard-hitting charge attacks, not wasting time throwing bait moves. We're going to see a shield come up there, the first of the game for P4T0M, and another fly is ready here from the Galarian Moltres.
Corsola, I tell you what, with 2 shields to hide behind can still be pretty scary because that counter damage doesn't do too much, and the Fortress in the back has some energy. So P4T0M lets that Corsola get as low as possible, throws his Power Gem, hopes that it's enough to take out the Annihilate and that it can still get some damage before that counter goes through.
Power Gem connects, Galarian Moltres falls out of the sky. The switch timer is available, but that single Astonish might make a huge difference. Here comes a Rage Fist from that Shadow Annihilate.
Rampant up here, Annihilate isn't monkeying around, wants to be able to knock out this Fortress, wants to be able to take this game to go to a decisive game 5, but first it has to withstand this Rock Tomb, which is going to knock that attack right back down.
Exactly, P4T0M wants to slow down this Annihilate and that counter pressure, relying on the Bug Bites. It's going to be close, it's going to be a race. Annihilate, despite all its rage, it gets to the Rage Fist here.
Going ahead, just knocking out this Fortress, and if you remember earlier on, that Corsola doesn't have a lot of health left. It could come down to a 3-turn versus a 2-turn. It is a simultaneous KO!
Simultaneous knockout on stage, but we see some gesturing between the trainers. They might have come to an agreement here. Let's see what they decide.
Before, we get into anything, just want to make sure that we see who wants to, okay, we're not going to make any statements yet.
Yeah, right. We're going to see exactly what's going on there up on the stage. Again, shout out to our incredible judging team, all of our professors that are here at Worlds. I always think the pictures of all of the staff are awesome. It takes a big team to put on such a massive event. And this is a really, really important game. So it looks like Beelzeboy's kind of talking about his case here in that game number 4.
Just as a reminder, both of these Pokemon knocked each other out at the same time, which would mean that this is essentially a draw and a clean next game would be played should it choose to be that way. However, it looks like Beelzeboy has conceded the matchup, recognizing that P4T0M would have won it there, and it looks like P4T0M is once again going to the grand finals, this time on the big stage.
World Championships. He's got an early Sunday morning, everybody. I see you out in the crowd. You better be there cheering just like that for P4T0M tomorrow. because he's starting off on the winner's side bracket in the biggest battle of his life.
Looks like the crowd is probably quacking at their favorite duck as P4T0M4N secures his spot in that grand finals.